Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. You can see my indicators worked again. They always work. You can see nicely nailed down sell zone on S&P 500. Now from sell zone to the buy zone. Nice percentage, 1.5% down. Nasdaq is down 1.5%. Nice dump from sell zone to the buy zone. Very accurately predicted this as well. And 2.3% here. Dow Jones, same thing here. You can see you came very close to the sell zone to the buy zone right now. Even Dow Jones is 1% down. So you can see all major industries are dumping. I know the catalyst is earnings, Tesla and Google, but this indicator didn't know any of that. Okay, so you can see every time it predicts perfectly to the spot. You can see buy zone to the sell zone. Here, this thing happened on Friday to the sell zone, 1.9% pump. Then from sell zone to the buy zone again, very accurately predicted this 2.27% dump. And is this the right time to buy now? We will review it, and we'll review all of the major indices. We'll review Bitcoin and Ethereum, crypto. We'll review commodities and all of the major FANG stocks. Hit the like button, guys, if you like this channel, and if you want to know more about this indicator. Click the join button in the description of this video. I share every hour the levels with my subscribers. So in one trade, you can cover the membership for the whole trade. And if you do subscribe, add a comment with your YouTube ID and I will add you to members only group where I share my trades, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and you can buy and sell along with me. All right, so this is the day trading chart right now, MES. Let's start with MES. And before we go there, let's go to SPX cycle analysis and I will open that right now. All right, so this market is not open, so it's not showing. But yesterday I was saying the fact that we still have some time in this declining phase, which is this yellow phase, that means this bounce is most likely be failed. All right, so you can go watch my video again. I was saying there's a time here, so that's the thing which is worrying me. So I'm looking for this bounce to fail, and I think the next, so until 5th of August, so from where we are right now, we have about 1.5 to 2 weeks to go. All right, so looking for this price actions to go lower, so decline from here to go lower around 5th and 6th of August, and then a bounce. All right, so that's what the cycle check chart is predicting. SPY, this is live. You can see it's here right now. It's already below near previous lows. There's a gap here. I think this is 100% gap fill. That's what my target is. So I think even if we now opening on a gap down, we could try to recover this gap, but eventually it should fail and come back down to fill this gap around 537 because this gap has been out for a while, and that's where this 50 EM and SMA are coming as well. So that's what my target is. All right. So now let's do side by side comparison. MES is on the right side, daily chart. This is live market, and then you can see we're in the buy zone, but I will be very cautious before I buy here because, like I said on cycle analysis, there's still some time. And if I go to weekly chart on MES, I will take this white line as a reference. All right, so my target on this white line is right now around 53, 58. All right, I know every week it's going to keep moving higher, but right now, as of right now, I think it can reach 53.50. So we got to be very careful. So from where we are right now to that zone is around 3.47% away. All right, so just keep that in mind and be very cautious. I know all the indicators are saying a bounce is coming, but you can see right now we are breaking this previous pivot as well. You can see this previous one. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see what's happening. We broke this previous low, so we are going lower. Actually, we might be right there. Maybe we did not break it yet. So, but I think on Nasdaq we must. Yeah, Nasdaq is showing other sign. It's breaking that pivot. There's some divergences developing, which is good. So we could expect a short-term bounce, but that's only for day traders. As an investor, I think this bounce, whatever we get, because we're opening on a gap down, we will get a bounce and then we'll fail, come back to fill this gap, which I showed you on SPY. That gap is around 537. So that's what I think will happen. We are still a bit away from my target. Now, day trading chart wise, this is a good time to buy, coming closer to buy zone. So we will get a bounce for sure. We will get a bounce, but that bounce should fail. So if you're buying at the open, buying call options, look to get out as soon as possible. All right, whenever that bounce happens. That's my personal opinion. MNQ, Nasdaq, same thing here, going towards buy zone. And on Nasdaq, actually, On MNQ, if I go to weekly chart, we are now actually getting closer to this white line, which is very good news for the bulls, at least for me. 3.5% away. All right. So if Nasdaq drops another 3.5%, this is where I will be starting to buy. You can see in a bull market, we go touch this white line all the time, all the time. This 20 moving average, very easy to touch. You can see. So that's my target. All right. So I'm going to be waiting patiently until I hit my target. I'll be ready with my buy orders as soon as it touches this white line, which is 3.5% away, and then I'll be looking to buy. One thing to know, the main component of Nasdaq is NVDA, which we'll review, and NVIDIA is still very, very over pumped. And I think having some cool down is good. You can see NVIDIA now trying to close this gap around 118, but there are other couple of gaps. There's another gap here around 110, then there's a gap around 106, and then this massive earnings gap around 97, which I think eventually 95 it will go there. But if Nvidia starts to sell off, S&P 500 Nasdaq will be selling off, guys, and all the chip stocks will be selling off. So just keep that in mind. So um, plan accordingly. On triple Qs, I moved it here because I'm keeping an eye. Triple Q is opening on a gap down. There was this gap around here, 476, which is going to be filled. Going lower from here to this gap, I think this gap they're going to fill it today, which is around 467. All right, so keep that in mind. So once they fill this gap, they could try to rally. So that gap from where we are right now, it's down 1.53%, is around 1.12% away. So they can even go let it go down around 2.5% Nasdaq. All right, so just keep that in mind. So just saying that. All right, again on a day trading chart, very, very oversold. So a bounce can fail. So look for a bounce to happen, and then that can fail as well. All right, just keep that in mind. Dow Jones is a bit stronger, but again coming closer to buy zone, and DIA ETF. There is a gap all the way down around 397. Let's say 400. That's what my target is. And Russell is also holding very well in the neutral zone. Nothing to do here. We'll wait for it to go below 2214. And on IWM, that gap is all the way down around 213, then 211, then eventually this bigger gap around 203. This all will be filled at some point. So just keep that in mind. Uh, Tesla. All right. So Tesla, I'm not buying right now. Earnings is always a bad thing, but anyhow, you can see. Let me make it bigger. You can see here, this was a downtrend. All right, it broke out, and now coming for a back test of this white line. Now, if they don't hold this, you can see it's broke out and coming for back test down almost 8.5%. If it's not hold, my next target is here, this gap fill around 212, then around 198. So when it comes to 198, then I will be thinking if I want to buy or not. But I'm not touching this until it comes to 198, and I think it still has from where we are right now to go 12% down. All right, so we'll see. And then also this massive gap, massive earnings gap around 145. Eventually, I think it's going to go reach there. Be very careful with this guy, man. Tesla is really bad. Google, again, Google is in the buy zone, but again, this is earnings, so that's not really considered as a zone to buy. There's a big earnings gap here, all right? So around 158. So just keep that in mind. All these tech stocks are very, very overly pumped. A correction of this nature will be very healthy for the market. And if Google goes down around 9%, that's, it's going to take entire market down. But it's opening on a gap down, so expect a bounce to fail and then go down lower. That's what I think will happen. Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin is kind of up 0.5%. Green line is above red line. Everything is good. If I go to BTC futures, you can see this gap here that's bothering me. It's going to be filled at some point, so I don't know when. Bitcoin going to dump at one day, 12% down, which is when this gap will be filled. This gap will fill 100% guaranteed. I just don't know when, so just keep that in mind. And Ethereum, that gap is around here, around 3131. All right, so just keep that in mind. These two gaps uh, um, are there to be filled, so be very cautious on Bitcoin. And we're still away in the neutral zone. Buy below 66.0665, 602, and then buy below on Ethereum 3415 if you want to day trade this. Hang Seng Index, China. is also looks like in the buy zone right now. But again, this target, there's a gap here around 16,937. Look to buy at the gap fill of that. Let's look at commodities. Gold is bouncing in the sell zone, not interested, came to the buy zone. I was telling everybody to buy it here. You can see a couple of times now to the sell zone. So again, it was a good trade if you took it. Silver is little weaker, I think, but again, trying its best to recover and go in the neutral zone right now. Copper is still weak. Again, in the buy zone touching. Crude oil is trying to bounce. Let's see if it can bounce. Buying yesterday was in the buy zone, now going towards neutral zone to sell zone. Natural gas after a massive pump couple of days ago, now in the buy zone again. Palladium is going towards buy zone. Nice pump here. Soybeans after a couple of days of nice pump, going little cooling a bit in the neutral zone right now. Sugar is in the buy zone. Sugar is probably one of the best trades because people will eat sugar. So I think this is trying to bottom. 7 counts buy signal. Maybe 2 more days left to buy before it bumps. Wheat is in the neutral zone. Corn is in the sell zone. So we'll see how corn shapes up. And let's look at big FANG stocks. Apple, there's a gap here around 221. It will go to fill that gap. Amazon is down pre-market 1%. Yesterday came to the sell zone, now going lower. Netflix is down 1.12%, also trying to go to the buy zone. Meta is down 3%. Again, this is another stock which is pumped so much. So a correction will be very healthy for the market. So again, I won't be buying here. Look for more lower prices. Microsoft is also going towards buy zone. Snowflakes is, um, I think, trying to make a bottom in the neutral zone, and NVDA, which is what will be driving the market. Already touching the gap fill 118 and in the buy zone. So if I think a bounce can happen on NVIDIA, that's why indices can bounce a bit and then eventually will fail. AMD is also again touching the buy zone right now. You can see here. And that's it, guys. If you have any particular stocks, put a comment. I will review it in my next video. VIX is bouncing above this 200 EMA SMA, light blue and dark blue line. So VIX bounces here. That means SPX is going lower, like this cycle analysis is predicting. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Hopefully all is good, and I'll see you later. Bye.